This is Jess with this week's Teacher Feature. I'm here with Mr. Stadnycki, and I wanted to ask him a few questions. So, what is one word that describes you?
I'm reasonable.
Trait. Where did you go to college and high school?
I went to college at Westchester University. I went to high school at Souderton, which is about an hour east of here. And I'm sorry, that's west, wrong direction. That's why they pay me for English. Did my graduate work down at University of Delaware.
What are your hobbies and interests outside of school?
I'm a pretty avid runner. I ran cross country in high school, but I was also, and this is kind of embarrassing, I was in a rock band in high school, and I played guitar, and it was pretty dorky. I had a really bad haircut, and I was the front man, and you hopefully will never find video of that.
If you were on a stranded desert island, what one item would you bring?
I've been thinking about this. I think I'd bring ninth period English. I think we're going to bring ninth period English and sit them all right in front of me on the sand and make them listen to me for until one of us passes away.
What would be your favorite book or movie?
My favorite good movie is Shawshank Redemption, which is a little bit older. I mean, I love like Iron Man, and I love all the Pixar movies. They're fun. Book. I like a book called Everything is Illuminated by Jonathan Safran Foer.
What's one activity that you were part of during high school?
Like I said, I ran cross country, and that was big. I did a lot of time. I did like winter track and track. I pole vaulted actually, and hurt myself many times pole vaulting. Piece of advice: ever decide to pole vault, don't do so in the rain. I hurt my wrist. It's never been the same.
If you have a famous dance move.
Right. I don't, and I do my best to never be in a position where I'm going to be forced to dance. But if I am in a position where I'm going to be forced to dance, my best dance move is to stand in a corner with my arms crossed and try to get people to avoid talking to me.
What's one food that you absolutely cannot live without?
Food I can't live without. I mean, like pizza's a staple. I eat salad every day for lunch. I like chicken. Chicken's a pretty I mean, that's a pretty obvious one. It's a staple in my diet, though. Every dinner has some kind of chicken.
If you had one superpower, what would you be?
I don't really like the superheroes that have the power. I like Batman, who is pretty vulnerable and can get shot, but he's got to dodge out of the way. If I have to pick a superpower, I like Gambit, who gets to charge like the cards and then throw them across the room. That seems fairly useless. But like it would be an awful lot of fun to be able to charge things and just throw them wherever I wanted to. Electricity and all that,
What is the best piece of advice that you think you've ever received?
But my dad used to tell me there's a lot of fish in the sea, and he meant that in terms of an awful lot of things. Girls, because he thinks he knows better than me about my own love life. He also meant that in terms of getting up, making decisions. There's always more decisions to be made. But I think another good one is just always go to sleep and wake up the next day. Because usually when you wake up the next day, everything's better.
Okay. What's one piece of advice that you think you can give to a high school student?
I think that you can't take any failure too seriously. I have failed so many times over the course of my life, and you just got to get up the next day, keep moving. Those things over the course of a lifetime, they're just small little blips, but you're gonna make it. You're gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm. So, what courses do you currently teach at the moment?
I teach an ancient mythology course that runs every other day. I teach honors 10th graders and accelerated 11th graders. Both of those are in English.
When you were little, what was one thing you wanted to be when you grew up?
When I was really little, I wanted to be a helicopter pilot. I have no reason. I think because when you live in the area that we live in, you see helicopters go overhead a whole lot. So I guess I was little and saw a helicopter and thought that would be a cool thing to do.
What do you hope to achieve in, or what did you hope to achieve in when you first started out at North?
I think one of the things that I told my 4-5 Accelerated 11 group every day when I first walked in, one of the things I told them is that I wanted to come to school with a positive attitude every day, to try to, refresh every day. If something doesn't go right one day, you come back and you try again, because that's all you can really do in life. So even if I mess up, which I do all the time, I try to come back with a good attitude and be positive the next day.
So, what made you want to become a teacher?
I had an awesome honors 10th grade teacher when I was in high school. His name was Mr. Ahern over at Souderton. And he inspired me. He walked in there every day with his big booming voice, and he had a suit and jacket on every day, so he looked really professional. But he inspired me. I loved reading the literature, and I loved talking about it with him. So that was sort of the first reason I wanted to become an English teacher. And impacting students' lives, of course, is always a good one. And to teach the things that I've learned and pass it on to the next person.
If you had a time machine, when would you go back to?
I would probably go back to the days when I was playing in my high school band and tell myself to get a different haircut. I had parted down the middle, bowl cut, but it wasn't like rocker hair. It was just dorky 9.
What kind of animal do you think represents you?
An animal that represents me. Well, I'm going to list some character traits. Maybe you can help me out. I'm pretty energetic. I'm kind of wacky. But I like to sit back and watch things and perceive everything that I'm looking at. So maybe like a chimpanzee or something like that.
Well, that's all we have for you today. Check in next time. Goodbye for now.
Here comes the, y'all don't really worry like that. Here comes the,